Where are we going, baby?
We're gonna go play pickleball.
Yeah, we're top level pickleball players, right?
No.
No?
No.
Not at all, huh?
Not at all.
But we decided we need to exercise and try to have some fun, and all these resorts seem to have a lot of them, so that's what we're gonna do this morning. Should they come along?
Sure.
If you want to. You want
Just
to?
don't laugh at us because we're really bad.
Yeah, we'll try to film some of that. From my morning walk, Dodge truck is leaving in the background. It's been getting pretty warm here, so we're going to go up into the mountains. More about that in the coming weeks. But right now, I'm out for my morning walk, which is now somewhere around 4 miles. You know, so I can keep all this in shape. But I'm gonna talk about 1,000 trails. Yep, I'm going there, 1,000 trails. What we like and what we don't like about it. We're obviously in a 1,000 Trails Park right now. This is Ventura, not Ventura. Okay. This is Voyager, RV resort and hotel. We actually have a restaurant on the property too. You can see the rigs, they're pretty close together. We've been here 3 weeks, coming up on 3 weeks, and that's because we have the Adventure Series package that comes, one of the elite ones above. It enables you to go from Encore Park to Encore Park. You have 90 days to make a reservation, and you can stay for 3 weeks, and that has helped us out a lot. More about that later. This is a par 3 9-hole course, executive par 3. They've got some little driving, not ranges, but little cubby holes down there. This is the clubhouse. Not much to it, but you can definitely play on this beautiful little course. There's your first hole right there. Have not played it.
can't find one to replace it. So I'm putting super glue on the little spindle that goes in the bottom. And I'm going to attach it to a plate. And we'll let that just sit there and harden, and then we'll put it in there, and
Do you think the heat or anything will affect it?
it shouldn't. And if it was a hot glue gun thing, yes, that would be a problem, but super glue should probably work. So we'll just let that harden.
So tell them what happened. I'll come back over here and show you the
The
microwave.
glass plate in here, it's a convection microwave, and so we put a frozen like lasagna, tray of lasagna on the glass plate, and so the convection of it would work, and the center of it was cold and the rest of it was hot, so it cracked the plate.
Yeah, the plate like blows up. Here it go pop.
Yeah, it just exploded. So what we should have done
What I should have done. Tell them the truth.
is put this on the tray to rotate it around and put it on top of that.
Yeah, and I put it straight down on the tray and it blew up. So now we're trying this glue out idea, because this particular, what we found, this particular thing right here is really hard to find.
The glass tray is
Everybody makes theirs all a little bit different.
Yeah, they're all different sizes and whatever, and so,
Stupid. Okay,
but we'll see if this works.
what do you guys think we should do? Tell us down in the comments. They are so far away in a lot of places, a lot of times, from places where you really want to be. But if you're on a budget, like Patty and I, and so many of you, you probably find them quite helpful and useful. So the first question you're probably going to ask yourself is, 1,000 trails worth it? Or is that very expensive? Yes and no. It's kind of like a timeshare thing in that once you purchase it, you have to pay a yearly fee. I think we pay around $700 for that, which is the Encore package grouped with the 1,000 Trails package that you have to pay every year. And once you get to the point where that's all you're paying, 1,000 Trails becomes extremely sweet. We figure somewhere around between $4 and $5 a night to stay at parks. $4 or $5 a night is ridiculous when you consider that they have, most of the time, you can get into a full hookup site with either 30 or 50 amps power and sewer. And sewer's big, unless you're using a composting toilet like Patty and I do. So the initial fees, wow, to buy in can cost you anywhere from like $13,000 to $14,000, depending on what package you buy, to $17,000 to get on one of their basic elite program. But you can also buy a very basic package if you just want to try it out. You can get those for $500-600. Buy a zone and add a zone to it, and then you can get into some of the parks that you want to go to, so you can get a feel for what they're like. Head up north and take in some of the beautiful places on the Oregon coast and Washington, because you can see 1,000 Trails is on the coast and in the valleys. So that's one of the reasons why we like Thousand Trails. But my point is, if you're on a budget and you're living full time, it's the way to go. They don't judge you for your rigs. I've seen some vans, I've seen some tent campers, and I've seen some very, very elaborate Class A buses in Thousand Trails that probably got to cost them $300,000 or $400,000. Here's one of the big helps for you. First tip is, once you've used one of their smaller packages that you pay $500 or $600 for a year and bought one of their zones, or maybe two of their zones, adding on for like $150 for another zone, go and try it and park at one of their parks and see how you like it. Some of them are very nice, some of them not so much. We try to stay away from the ones that are not so much, and you'll get an idea. But once you decide that you want to do it, and everybody knows this, so I don't have to worry about Thousand Trails getting mad at me for mentioning it to you, is don't buy brand new, don't buy from Thousand Trails, buy from, there's a couple of organizations, one in particular, you can buy a used package. Somebody else has stopped using it, or it didn't work out for them. They have one of their Elite Pluses or whatever. You can get them somewhere between $4 and maybe $6 grand instead of paying 17 grand for a used membership. They transfer over to you, and you go out and use them. We used that for the first 3 years. And then we decided to move up to the Adventure Series, which is about $16,000–$17,000 for that one. So you can go from park to park in the Encore via the Adventure package. And it's a elite program, but I didn't pay $16,000–$17,000 for that either. Stay tuned to the end of this vlog, and I'll tell you how we did it. Hey guys, I'm walking Voyager RV Park, and I'm walking in the stucco homes part of it. And these homes over here are anywhere from like $260. In fact, there's one over here for $265, which is a stucco home, all the way up to around $400,000. There might be one around $500,000, but you got to pay a HOA. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, since it looks like I'm walking in a residential neighborhood. I'm still in Voyager. Pretty cool place. Massive, massive. Another tip, one of the best ways to find out about a particular RV park, Encore, Thousand Trails, is to YouTube it. There's a lot of good YouTubers, great YouTubers out there. Home Meets Road, we followed in the beginning. There's another one called Following the Moon, I think it is. They do a pretty good job of telling you about some of these parks. So go ahead and YouTube it, put in what you're looking for, watch. You can learn a little bit sometimes about the area, but more specificity on the park itself. It's a great resource. And yes, I know, Joe, you guys, Mayor, you guys don't like us giving away all the good spots. But that's how people find out about places they can go to. So stop typing. Seriously, take your hands off the keyboard, Joe. I know. Testing out a different camera today. It would seem everybody's up and going this morning. A busy little neighborhood of Voyager, our last week here. And real quick, wanted to throw up here a sequence, if you will, of some of the 1,000 trails that we've been to that are worth it. We use a lot. One is Viewpoint, and another one is Monte Vista. These are both in Mesa, Arizona. We also like one in Cottonwood, Arizona, Verde Valley. It's a nice one. It doesn't have a laundry, which is kind of unusual and upsetting because you have to drive into town through a whole bunch of switchbacks to get to a laundry, which is kind of annoying. But the camp itself is pretty nice. Park up on the top. That's the best place to park at Valley Verde, but there's a few others in Texas. We like one in Willis Conroe. The one in Columbus, Colorado River is getting better. Okay, I can walk and talk forever, but let's just pull up a little chart here to help explain what you need to know, which is important. And you can see there's four different types. There's the camping pass, which is where you really ought to start, and then the elite basic, which is the one that we bought and we used for 3 years. It helped us plan 120 days out, and then you could go 21 days. You can see right underneath of it, park to park, whereas the camping pass over here on the far right, 14 days, you had to be out for 7 days. But if you drop down here to where it says the Trails Collection Reciprocal Program for $315 a year, I think it's a little more than that actually, but that helps you get into Encore. But these other rules on the camping pass apply, meaning you can only be in them for 14 days and you have to be out for 7. But if you move over into the Elite Basic, which we had for 3 or 4 years, which worked just fine for us, you can go plan out 120 days, go from park to park for 21 days, and then down here we got the we added this on the Encore parks just because of their location, particularly because we were in Arizona and it was very helpful for us. We went ahead and added this $315 a year additional for Encore parks. These rules apply to us, meaning that we could go up to the only difference, I guess, really was that you had only 60 days to plan out where you were going to go in this Encore system. And then you could only be in for 14 days, and then you had to be out for 7. So when we switched over from Elite Basic all the way over here to the Adventure program, you can see what happened. We could plan out 180 days. Now, this is the catch that they get you on. This 180 days does not apply down here to the Camping Trails collection. You can only do that 90 days in advance. But on all the other, Thousand Trails parks that we have, you can book out or plan for up to 180 days, which is great. It's fantastic. Helps you get some of those really hard parks to get into. 21 days park to park. Now the rest of this stuff, they have some other programs and stuff. You still have to pay the $315 a year. It's probably closer to $400 now to get the Encore package as part of it. And then they have some discounts on cabins, and it's kind of strange. If we had more time on this particular video, I'd like Patty to explain that to you. It's kind of a weird program. The RPI reciprocal program you have to buy, but they give you some credits. I haven't really used it. I haven't seen any of these parks that are really worth it. If you know any of them, take a few minutes, put it down in the comments to the rest of us. If you've used any of these RPIs that are worth anything, let us know. And then the getaway cabins, again, it's kind of a strange program. We haven't used it. And this last one I wanted to explain to you is additional weeks. 4 non-high use weekends per year at $29 a week, plus 2 high use weeks per year for $99 a week. That's a kind of an unusual program, and we have found that it's kind of only for the Thousand Trails. It does not apply to the Encore. For instance, we're here in Voyager Resort and Hotel, and it does not apply because it is not a Thousand Trails. It's Encore. So that little thing there where you can extend for a week for $29 doesn't apply to Encore parks. It's only to 1,000 Trails. So there's little quirks in there that you got to watch for. But so far we really enjoy it. It's been worth it to be here where we are for 3 weeks at a time and go from Encore to Encore park. The only other thing that you need to know is that you only have 90 days to plan. You don't have 120 and you don't have 6 months. I'm sure that 1,000 Trails will catch on to this, and for several $1,000s they'll add this eventually. But right now it's not available. I know that was there was a lot of information about 1,000 Trails to take in, and that chart at the end you may feel like it helped or it didn't help. I don't know. But there are 3 or 4 reasons why we switched over to the Adventure series. I wanted to share with you at the end of this particular vlog. And the first one was be able to include the Encore package in with the 1,000 Trails, because there are some nice Encore parks, in Arizona, Florida, all over the place, and in southern Texas in the Rio Grande Valley, places like Brownsville, McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh. That area down in the Rio Grande Valley has some really nice 1,000 Trails parks that will probably be visiting in the future. So that's one of the things. It's be able to combine those two, meaning that you can go from park to park, where before we had to be out for 7 days and we could only be in the Encore parks for 14 days, then we had to be out for 7. Now we can go from Encore park to Encore park, and we can be in there for up to 3 weeks, which is phenomenal. That really helps us out a lot. The other reason why we did that is it upgraded some things within the Trails, or the 1,000 Trails packages, the Elite program that we already have. That base program improved, and what that means is now we can be over a couple of holidays, where once we could only book over 1 holiday, and then it would say, you're trying to book over 2 holidays around July, Labor Day, Memorial Day. That gets to be important. And the last thing was we can now book 1,000 Trails, and 1,000 Trails only for up to 6 months, which means we're all the way up in Oregon later on this year. We're like 5, almost 6 months out planned where we're going to go. And that helps a lot, because those parks seem to fill up. And if you don't have that ability to go out over 120 days, there's a lot of people that have the smaller programs. There's a lot of fewer people that have the bigger programs. So that really helped us out a lot. Those things are the reasons why we switched over to Encore. I didn't pay for it. I'll give you a full price. I'll give you Kimberly's information down in the notes in the description. You can call her. I worked with her, and she eventually gave in, relented, and gave me one of her friends within 1,000 Trails, and I can't give you his name, who sold me the package at a lot less cheaper price. I think it was a lot to do with timing the day of the week, the timing like towards the end of a weekend, towards the end of a month, where they really wanted to go ahead and close out a deal, and I got squeezed in there probably for around 10 to 11,000 instead of the $16,000 that they want. They don't sell adventure packages, used programs yet. That's what I was constantly bickering Kimberly about. As soon as one of those available, I wanted to get it for even less than that. I wanted to get it for $4 or $5 grand. But we found it to be extremely useful because we're in Snowbird West for all of the winter, and then after that closes around April, we got to be out. So we go, man, this year we hope to go to all over Washington, Oregon, get back on the coast, which I loved. I've only been up there one time, and I probably would not do that without 1,000 Trails, because as you know, when you start going up in Northern California, you get up into Oregon, you get up into Washington, and you try to stay on the coast, my gosh, peeps, you know, it's 75, 45, 75, some places $90 a night to park in one of their parks. And I can, Whalers Rest and Pacific City in Oregon, I can actually walk to the beach and walk on the beach. And there's just some beautiful places up there. And we're trying to record and film that for you. All that's coming up on Riders in the Storm. And if you like this information and you like our channel, please hit that like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Patty and I really enjoy you tagging along with us on these adventures. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep going. And we thank you for all that your participation. Thanks, Coach. Thanks our RV family down in Snowbird. Thanks to all of our friends and family throughout the country. Stay with us. We've got a whole lot more to do. Riders in the Storm. See you next vlog.